Unit 1, Chemistry of Life. Put simply, life is made through the presence of carbon. These carbon compounds of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids make up around 25% of all living things. A large focus in the chemistry of life is the water molecule. Not only are these two hydrogen and oxygen polar, but they have a uniquely high heat capacity. This molecule is essential for all forms of life on Earth, and without it, there would be no chemistry to study. For hands-on learning, our class did the Penny Lab. This lab focuses on testing whether adding other molecules to a water solution would increase the surface tension of the liquid. The additives only weaken the intramolecular forces between molecules, weakening the cohesion. Overall, the abundance of hydrogen bonds is what allows the amount of liquid to drop on the penny without breaking surface tension. Unit 2, Cell Structure and Function.
The cell is the basic living unit of organization for all organisms. Larger, more complex cells are eukaryotes like animals, while smaller, simpler cells are prokaryotes like bacteria. Besides each of these cells having both a nucleus and ribosomes, their organelles differ and are given specialized functions. In our carrot potato lab, we explored osmolarity using commonplace foods. We saw the vegetables change in size after soaking in solution. Unit 3 is on cellular energetics. Photosynthesis plays an important role of fueling ecosystems and providing the Earth's atmosphere with oxygen. Through light reactions and the Calvin cycle, a plant is able to produce simple sugars and essential nutrients from atmospheric gases and energy. In addition, cellular respiration includes the metabolic pathways of glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. The Krebs cycle, also known as the citric acid cycle, is a process of chemical reactions that utilizes pyruvate to release stored energy. Finally, the electron transport chain is a series of redox reactions that transfer electrons as a way to produce ATP. Through a simple step toothpick ace lab, we explored enzyme activity at its most basic level. Simple hands-on labs help us practice critical thinking skills to interpret the activity.
Unit 4, Cell Communication and Cell Cycle. Cells divide for the sole purpose of reproduction, growth, and repair. Mitosis describes the process of duplicating one's chromosomes in efforts to create an exact copy of genetic material. Mitosis has 5 phases, including interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Next, the regulation of cell division is composed of 3 major checkpoints, G1, G2, and the spindle checkpoint. To obtain knowledge on this topic, the class worked on mitosis investigation. This activity worked on identifying cells in a specific phase of mitosis. This helped with information retention as well as real-world practice.
In Unit 5, we explored heredity. Genes are the units of heredity that characterize living organisms. Through sexual reproduction, traits from the parent organisms are passed on to their offspring. Genetics, the study of heredity, explains how these traits are passed and where the diversity comes from. Punnett squares may ring a bell. Gene inheritance can vary in dominant style and can be chromosomal, affecting the sexes differently. Plasmid lab activity, we explored the passing of genes in bacteria through plasmid uptake. If the GFP GLOW gene is expressed in the bacteria glowed, the plasmid was inserted into its DNA.
Unit 6, Gene Expression and Regulation. DNA and RNA carry the genetic instruction for all living organisms. DNA replication and RNA transcription and translation are covered in the unit. Furthermore, regulation of gene expression explains organisms' phenotype through regulation and cell specialization. Mutations cause genetic variation, and biotechnology utilizes genetic understanding to genetically manipulate organisms. For hands-on learning regarding the passing down of genes, the class studied the pelvic spine gene in stickleback fish. This lab encouraged the knowledge of regulatory switches and the fact that mutations play a significant role in heredity.
Unit 7 is on natural selection. Natural selection is the process by which organisms that are better adapted to the environment will survive and reproduce. Charles Darwin also theorized that artificial selection also affects evolution, the change in characteristics of species over generations. Ancestry is the measuring tool for evolution, relating species through common ancestors that undergo speciation. Lastly, the unit discovers the origin of life on Earth, exploring what the first living organisms arose from. We took a look at the Miller-Urey experiment to assess where life started on Earth before oxygen was generated. Using ancient Earth conditions, the scientists found the natural spontaneous spawning of amino acids that would kickstart life.
Unit 8, Ecology. Ecology is the study of organisms and their interactions with one another and their environment. Species interact with one another through symbiotic relationships. Predation guides energy flow through ecosystems up trophic levels. The density of a population depends on the species' nature. Exponential and logistic growth curves explore how density can limit a population. Biodiversity discovers why a stable abundance of species is important for an ecosystem to survive and thrive. Disruptions in ecosystems, such as human activity, can shift biodiversity and weaken the community nature.
As a student who took APES, the Unit 8 Ecology unit was definitely very similar to what we learned in that course. If you are looking to take AP Biology and APES, they would coincide, especially within this unit. And if you are interested in biology, I suggest the class to everyone. They definitely have similar styles, but have different material. And I think both courses are amazing.
For do's and don'ts, do number 1, take diligent notes during class. This is important because in the class notes, they help you understand the complicated topics covered.
Do number 2, pay attention to diagrams, draw things out, and get familiar with all the biological processes or structures by practicing drawing out the diagrams you come across. Annotate them and sharpen your skills of understanding.
Don't number 1. Do not put half effort into homework. All of the worksheets and videos assigned will be worth it and teach you more in the long run.
Don't number 2. Don't fall behind on lectures or chapters. It can be important to progress through the units with complete understanding of past lessons, so get immediate help with the current material before moving on to more content.
Compare and contrast AP Bio versus AP World. These classes are similar in the way that they both require a lot of reading. They also require one to understand the material rather than just memorize facts. They contrast in the terms that AP Bio requires a lot of practice and drawn models to fully grasp understanding.
Comparing AP Bio to AP Chem, although they are both science courses, the overall strategy and style of questions are very different. Biology is very conceptual with lots of units overlap, whereas AP Chem uses lots of intricate math but does not require the same level of specific understanding as Bio. Both require lots of studying and work, and labs are great for practicing application of content. I took the AP exam in person and was happy to return to a full test schedule with both the MCQ and the FRQ. I would say that I was especially prepared for the FRQ, but I would say my prediction is around a 4, maybe a 3. I could have sharpened my skills in intricate understanding for the MCQ, but I'm happy with how it went.
College credits. I am committed to USC and plan to major in human biology. I would love to incorporate kinesiology into my major and focus during my undergrad. In order to get bio credits for USC, one has to score a 4 or above to pass. Getting this credit would help an incoming freshman pass ordinary level biology courses and focus in terms of direct interest. It also saves a lot of money to get college credits.
I'm majoring in environmental science at UC Berkeley. Whether I decide to take a biological or social science pathway, this AP Bio course is very relevant to what I learned. A passing grade of a 3 will exempt me of my lowest division general biology course, which will free up useful space for me to take a higher level science class.
Valuable skills. One skill I learned in AP Bio was information retention. AP Bio has helped me be able to read something and remember it more efficiently.
Skill 2, diagram understanding. AP Bio uses lots of diagrams to show processes, so the practice with them in this class has helped me improve my skills of utilizing and learning from visual information.
Thank you for watching our presentation and have a great day.